My next guest is a very talented artist who's garnered millions of streams. She's gone viral all over social media. Her latest EP is called Camera Shy. And it's the one and only Sara Kays. And there she is.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm so pleased to be speaking with you. I love this setup. This is probably a nice background that rivals what I have here. Where are you right now?
I'm just in it's like a studio apartment kind of, so I'm sitting on my bed actually.
Oh, very nice. I see all the equipment and things. It's so interesting to get a real intimate look at artists' real basic home life. And I take it a
Yeah,
lot of songs were crafted here.
yeah, it's pretty much where I write everything. I don't really produce any of my stuff though, so it's nice to not have to have all that equipment in this like little space.
You know, I was thinking about you over the weekend and along with the other handful of artists in terms of how people have discovered you. And it's just
Yeah,
so interesting how everything is all technology driven right now because I don't know, call me old fashioned, but like in the old days, it'd be all like, hey, Sarah, have you heard of this band? They're called Simple Plan. You should check them out. Yeah, and so forth. Have you
yeah.
had any perspective or time for perspective on how people are discovering your music?
It is crazy, like, yeah, especially because for me, it's been just mostly in this past year that I feel like my music has reached more people. So it hasn't like been a real like in-person thing for me quite yet. So I do feel a little disconnected from it, but I think, once I start playing shows and once that becomes like a part, like a piece of the puzzle, that it'll become more real for me. And I'm really excited for that. But it has been cool that I can reach, I've been able to reach so many people just, by posting stuff.
It's got to be a weird feeling because you're getting all these messages. I'm sure people have related to your music to the point where it's so personal. And we can go down the list of all the various topics that you've covered in your songs, but
Yeah.
there are just so many different facets to you that resonate. Have there been any messages or people that stand out that have reached out to you?
I do. I get pretty personal in a lot of my songs, so I do get people who reach out about similar things that they're going through and just kind of like telling me their stories. And it is crazy that like somebody I've never met can just like I can get like their whole life story in a DM, but I've never met them. But just because that one song I talk about something that they're going through, like I can get their whole like life story. And it's crazy. But um, yeah, a lot of people who kind of struggle with like body image reach out to me, and it's nice to be able to hear from people who also struggle with it.
Not only the body image aspect of it, but just the basic social hierarchy of school, life,
Yeah.
relationships, and all those things. And I find it very, very, very cool that you've been able to just basically put it all out there in black and white. I mean, there's so many different ways you can approach it and use muses and kind of put Easter eggs and kind of hide a message in there and whatnot. And not bad for a girl that was turned away by the associate producers of America's Got Talent way back when.
Yeah, that man, that was so long ago. That was like I was probably like 14 when I auditioned for that.
Tell me
That's so
about that because I've spoken to some others that have gone through the audition process. Some made it, some didn't. You're 14 years old. What were your aspirations and why AGT versus any other of those competition shows?
honestly, I also auditioned for like the other ones too at that age, like The Voice and American Idol, and I think just like I'm from Indiana, so like right in the middle of the Midwest, like everybody, I grew up playing like busking a lot and playing at a lot of restaurants and bars. So like everybody there would come up to me and be like, you should audition for like American Idol or something. Cause it's like in their minds, like in the Midwest, that's like the path to fame if you sing. So, and I didn't know any better, so I had like auditioned for all of them. Thank goodness I never like made it through on any of them because I know that now I would look back and be like cringing at it.
What was your vibe back then? What was the song that you played for them?
Uh, what did I play? I think I played a Riptide at the America's Got Talent audition. I like had my ukulele, played Riptide. It's probably pretty stereotypical of me. And I played Put Your Records On.
And that's what the type of music that you were into at the time. That's what you were busking and playing.
Yeah, I just kind of like that acoustic singer-songwriter style of stuff, like Colby Calais and in that vein, Ed Sheeran. But when I was busking and playing those kind of gigs, I kind of tried to just play what was popular because people would just know the songs and they'd pay attention to me more.
That's interesting. You know, I read in the bio or whatever materials that I got that one of the cover songs that you played was Champagne Supernova by Oasis. And I found
Yeah,
that interesting because, let's be honest, people want to hear Wonderwall.
I played that one too. Especially if I was at like a bar, then I would pull those ones out because you have like your middle-aged dudes at the bar and they're all gonna be like, yeah.
So you've been playing guitar, what, since like 12 years old or something like that, right?
Yeah,
Young
yeah. I
age.
started kind of like I got really into singing first. Not like seriously or anything, I just really loved it. And then my mom got me a guitar and then I just kind of put them together.
Was Wonderwall the first song you learned how to play? What was that entry point? What were you trying to do?
I think the first song I learned was like Firework by Katy Perry. I think it was right around that time when that song was huge. And I took guitar lessons for a few like weeks maybe. And I brought that song to him. I'm like, I don't know how to play this. And then he just taught me the chords that it was. And then I realized I could just like learn chords and I didn't really need to know much more than that to know how to at least like play songs when I busk and stuff. So
Remember that night is so huge right now and resonating. Congrats on that. That's
thank
a
you.
huge accomplishment. What I want to know, and you know, if people look at the lyrics, they can easily surmise what's going on there, and
Right.
an ex reaching out at the wrong time after a
Yeah.
breakup. What I'm curious to know is what is the moment for which you say, I need to put this out into a song versus I need to call my mom and tell her about this and then just work it out that way? Because, there's a fine line between being sad and then making that sadness into art.
Right. Right. Well, I think I definitely like when I was broken up with, like that's more for me like the okay, I call my mom, like I'm super upset. That's when I do that. But this this song, like I wrote it the night that he kind of like reached out to me and I was like it made me a little bit sad, but not nearly as sad as like getting broken up with, on that day. So I just I think it was kind of like instead of responding, I'm just gonna start writing a song about it and yeah.
Would you say that there was enough separation for your feelings for which when he did reach out, you were like, okay, these feelings are coming back up, but I'm over it. And therefore, there wasn't anything more to talk about?
I did feel like pretty, because it had been months, since we had broken up. So like I felt pretty over it at that point. But hearing from him, like obviously it brought up some feelings and some like, dang, like it's bringing up a little bit of the feelings that I had then. So just writing a song about it is a good way to get it out. And also, it's like I don't write that much about relationships or breakups because I guess it's because I feel like it's harder for me to say something new about it or like feel like I'm being unique with it. But with this, it was just literally what happened. So I guess it made it that much easier. And I posted a video of me singing it on TikTok, like um, not really. I guess I have low expectations with the relationship songs because I'm like it's hard to say something new, but I guess
Here
it,
you
it
are.
resonates.
Live shows are coming back. We see all these tour dates getting scheduled and things like that. What's the thought in terms of translating these live, and how are you going to make us be just sobbing for 45 minutes?
I'm so excited to start playing shows. I hadn't played with a band yet until this past, like a few weeks ago. I did like a live stream show with a band, and it's so much fun. I didn't realize how much fun it would be. And it just like, I'm so used to playing by myself, and it's so nice to have other people playing parts that I normally wouldn't be able to play. And it just feels way more whole. And um, yeah, it feels great playing with a band.
Well, count me in as a fan along with everybody else on TikTok. I'm very excited about what you have coming up in the future. Obviously, can't wait to see you perform live, and congrats on all the recognition.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.